Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to the premiere episode for Season 2 of our radio show, Friends Forum with John Show. My name is John McCormick, and I am your host. Just as the talk show suggests, this is an informal forum for friends to come together and discuss topics and or share random thoughts. Although I will suggest topics at times, everyone is welcome to suggest a topic as well. Most topics are welcomed, but remember, we are on the air, so please keep that in mind. The show tonight will be in two segments over the next 60 minutes. I look forward to the discussions. I created this show so friends that may never get a chance to meet in person can at least talk to each other here. It is like the next best thing. We get to put a voice with a face. I just want to say how grateful I am for all my friends I have made online through Facebook and other social networking sites, and I want to thank each one of you for being a friend. Well, it is now time to start the show. You have two options. You can choose to just listen to the show, or you can also call in to join the live group discussion on the air. If you call in, you will hear the show from your phone. The listener dial-in number is 516-387-1921. That is 516-387-1921. So please call in now to be connected. Thank you in advance for listening to the show and to anyone that may call in. Again, please call in now. And I just wanted to say I'm so excited about tonight's show and starting Season 2 of our radio show. It's been a long hiatus, almost 10 months since the last episode. But we are back now, and we plan to stay here for a long time. Tonight, the first 30 minutes will be an open forum with a topic I have in mind. Then the last 30 minutes will be me playing an audio clip of an interview I did with my mom about when I got sick in 2000. Since May is Mental Health Awareness Month, I will talk more about that later. Future episodes will include interviews with some of my incredibly talented friends, two of which just published a book. And other friends with important topics to discuss will be interviewed. For now, while we wait for our first callers to call in, I'm going to play a song to welcome everyone. It seems appropriate for what we are all going through right now. I know you will recognize it, enjoy it, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we are back. If you are listening and have not called in yet, please do so now. The listener call-in number is 516-387-1921. That is 516-387-1921. So please call in now to be connected. I wanted to play that song because that is what we all need right now is love. We need to show more concern for each other through this difficult time that we are going through. I see we have our first caller, and I do believe that our first caller is Shavish. Hi, Shavish.
Hi, John. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for calling in. I was hoping that you would call in because I wanted to let everyone know about what you're doing during this time, this lockdown, about your class that you're doing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, pleasure is on mine. Lockdown taught me a lot of things, so I'm keeping myself busy. I'm working out at home. I'm busy with my school that I'm attending online. Also, I'm a Zumba instructor, so I teach my virtual Zumba classes every week, three classes a week.
That's right, and that's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:15 p.m. San Francisco time, which is West Coast time.
Correct. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5:15 San Francisco time.
So how can a caller that's calling in be able to take your class? I mean, I know that you're on Zoom, and that's where you do your class at, but how do they find out after the show how to log in or how to get to your show? I mean, to your class.
For that, they need to follow me on social media, either on Facebook or Instagram, to see my story or updates regarding the classes so that they can contact me through those Facebook or Instagram so that I can provide them with a link of that.
That sounds wonderful. And you know what I'll do, because, right now I'm sure whoever's listening don't have a pen and paper handy. What I'll do after the show is on my Facebook wall, I will post information on how to contact you, on how they can sign up, because your class is just amazing. I mean, it's full of energy.
So much.
I mean, I try to keep up. Sometimes I can't, but it's wonderful.
Right.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you doing your class and keeping people in shape during this difficult time when it's hard to get out and do much. Everything's closed and the gyms are closed.
It's like keeping people involved into a workout. We are so stressed. People are so stressed due to this lockdown, and people get so bored staying inside all the time. So I think Zumba fitness is such workout where you can dance, where you can have fun, and where you can sweat, and you can relieve your stress. That's the good thing about it.
Oh, absolutely. And I have had fun. It's a very fun class that you do, and it's getting me to get some exercise.
Right.
I live in San Francisco, and I'm used to going up and down the hills, going places, and I haven't done that since the lockdown. I don't have very many places to go, so being able to take your class gives me some exercise and helps me actually have more energy. So I know that you can't talk too long. You said that you have a workshop, but thank you, for calling in, and I will definitely give information to everyone on Facebook how to contact you to get your class then, okay?
Sure. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Okay, you too. Enjoy your workshop. Okay.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, well, that was Shavish. I met him a few years ago, and he is a Zumba class instructor, and he just does amazing classes. I watch him, and he's like pouring his sweat when it's over with, and anyone that takes his class is doing the same thing because you're getting a really good workout. But I did want to say that tonight what I wanted to discuss for our first segment is the main thing that is affecting us all right now, and that is the coronavirus. I want to find out how everyone is coping. What are you doing with your time now? What do you miss the most? Has there been any positive things that have come out of this for you? I know for me, I am not going to the cafes, restaurants, and bars, etc., which I do miss, but at least I'm not spending money. There's more money in my bank account, so that's a good thing. And, it's really cute, and what's amazing is 7 o'clock p.m., I'm not sure if it's happening everywhere else other than here in San Francisco, but at 7 p.m., a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people yell out their windows and they cheer and they bang pots and pans. It's to honor the healthcare workers because at 7 p.m. is usually when they get off work and when they go to work. So it's a time just to honor them. And actually it was just 7 o'clock here just a moment ago, and I get to hear that right out my window. So it's it's really nice. And what's also amazing is there's this dog that's right outside my window. He never barks at all. But what happens is when everyone's making that noise, all of a sudden, he likes to bark and join in on it. So I think that's really cute. And, I've also noticed, too, like on Facebook, we are trying to get our minds off of things, as far as, what's going on. And one of the things that just happened recently, which I thought was kind of cute, too, was we all started developing our own avatars, during this time, which is different than our regular picture. So I think that's really cool. And so while we're waiting for our next caller, I just wanted to say also that we are expecting a few people to call in this first segment, so we're just waiting for my next caller. She's supposed to be calling in any minute, so I'm looking forward to her calling, and then we'll go from there too. But I did notice that a few of my friends have been busy too. There's a friend of mine named Joey, and she may be calling in tonight, Joey Savage. She's a well-known comic, and she's also an author. She's really done great with getting her work out there. But she usually, there for a long time on Facebook, has been putting down what she's grateful for, and she would put down like 3 things every day. And I noticed recently now she's really extended that. Now she puts down what she sees, and then she lists several things, what she hears. She lists several things, what I feel. She lists several things, what I smell, the same thing, and taste. So she's really focusing on gratitude, I think, and what we're grateful for. And I think that's one of the things that we can do during this, difficult time, is just focus on the positive if we can, because I think that's something that's really, really important. And then also we have other friends that have been busy too. I have a friend named Eddie Starr. He's been working on starting his new business. It's going to be a doggy daycare where you can bring your dog in and get a massage and do that. So he's been really working a lot on his opening of his business, which I think is amazing. And he may call in tonight too, and then we can hear more about it. And then we have my friend Mike. He just published a book of poetry. Now, he may call in tonight too, and if he does, I'll have him read 1 or 2 of his poems because they're just amazing. And he's been very successful with that on Amazon. So the title of his book is kind of unique. It's called Bimbos and Businessmen. Kind of a very captivating and refreshing and self-explanatory title, if you want to say so. It's just really amazing. And it's a whole book of poetry that he came up with. And what he said was he was inspired by Walt Whitman, Dorothy Parker, and the best generation poets. Michael also felt compelled to try his hand at poetry in the early 1990s. A small output, this may be, but reading them today, they still seem to be fresh and as interesting as the day that he completed them. So, yeah, it's Bimbos and Businessmen. You can get that on Amazon.com. And so he's really doing great with that. And so let me see what else we can do here while we're waiting for Kelly to call in. She's scheduled to call in. I was going to interview her a little bit. And she just texted me that she's running a little behind. So let me just find out when she can be here. Let's just take a quick look here and give her a text. And we'll just get her on the line as soon as possible. And, well, anyways, this is our first show after having a show for a long time back, about 10 months ago. What I'm wanting to do very soon is, starting on June 3rd, I'm going to be starting interviews again. What I do is I interview friends and just people that are publishing books or comics, actors, all those types of jobs and things that they do. But also what I like to do is interview people that have a very important topic that's really passionate to them. And that's one of the things that I really want to do, too, is get out there anything that's important. And right now with this lockdown, I'm sure there's a lot of things going on, and I really want to hear from people that are going through this experience like everyone else and just finding out what they're doing to cope with everything, and just find out what they're doing with their time. I know that a lady who just published a novel. Her name is Dorothy Roby, and I'm going to be interviewing her on June 3rd, Wednesday, June 3rd. So be sure to check in at that time for that episode, because I interviewed her 10 months ago when she was still not published yet, but she was working on her novel. And now it's so exciting that now she has her novel, and it's out there. It's also out there on Amazon.com. Now, like I said, I'm going to be interviewing her on June 3rd, but what I'd like to do is go ahead and give you the title of her book. So ahead of time, if you want to get a copy and read it, you can do that, and that way you'll, when we do the interview, you'll be able to even discuss it with her if you call in. The name of her novel is Passage of Promise, and that is by Dorothy Roby. That's Robey, and she just published her book here recently, and it's just an amazing book. I've already read most of it. I like to read at night before I go to bed, and that's when I read. So I'm almost done with each of the chapters, and it's a really amazing journey that the main character goes on, and I think it's just awesome, and I'm really excited about it. Maybe what I'll do is go ahead and read a short description of the book, so this way you get an idea of what it's about if you'd like to go on Amazon and purchase a copy. She's also on Barnes & Noble and also globally, too, which I think is just amazing. But here's a description of her book. Marina's relationship has a rocky history with a controlling mother, distant sister, and a string of lousy boyfriends. In the midst of her troubles, Marina's family discovers her 4-year-old nephew, Christopher, is diagnosed with a life-threatening illness. Her mother orders her to go to the Greek island of Centauria to retrieve her great-grandmother's wonder-working icon of Saints Anna and Mary for healing of her nephew. Fearing Christopher's condition and desiring separation from her family, Marina accepts the trip with little deliberation. But when she reaches the island and the church that houses the icon, she finds it's been stolen. Marina recruits a high school English teacher vacationing on the island to help her search for her great-grandmother's precious heirloom. During the search, she finds more than the icon. And so far, I've been reading it, and it's just an amazing journey that she goes on. And we'll know more about that and talk more about that on June 3rd. I do see that we have a new caller, and I believe that is Kelly. Kelly, is that you?
Yeah, hi, how are you? Hello.
Hey, you made it.
I did. Took me a minute, but I'm here.
Well, we're glad you made it, and I was just talking about a few things, but also about what everyone's going through right now with this lockdown, this coronavirus. It's affected everybody's lives in so many ways. But how are you coping with it?
Well, I'm going crazy, stir crazy.
Okay.
I haven't been able to work, and yeah, but I just go to like the grocery store and stuff like that, and yeah.
Yeah,
well,
you sound like me. That's all I do is just go to the grocery store. That's about it.
Mhm. Other
So
than
what
that,
are you doing
I sit
with your
around.
time?
We sit around, watch TV. I find little things to do around the house, and I don't know. I think I've done everything around the house that I can possibly do. So I watched almost a whole bunch of stuff on Netflix. So I don't know.
Oh, I know you like YouTube videos too.
Oh yeah, I got my favorite ones on there. Yeah.
What are your
I
favorites?
watched all of them.
Maybe we'll check them out. What are your favorites?
One of them is called The Angry Grandma. Oh, my God. She is so hilarious. It's her and her grandson, and they live in Michigan. And they are just hilarious. Yeah, look them up and watch them. They're great.
Oh, okay.
And then Then I watch another one. It's called The Bell Life, and it's two brothers, and sometimes they have their nephew on there, and they just do like those eating challenges and stuff like that, and just different little things. And they're in Kentucky, so yeah, that's just a couple that I watch. Yeah. So.
Well, now let me ask you: has there been anything because of this that's been positive? I know for me, I'm not spending any money because I'm not going anywhere, you know. But
right.
But has there been anything that you could think of that might be a positive thing from this, or?
No, nothing is positive. No.
Well, you know,
I'm gaining
I understand.
weight. I'm gaining weight. I've gained 10 pounds. I'm going crazy. I need a therapist or some medication or something, but yeah, no, nothing positive. No.
Oh, okay. So how is it in Ohio? Because I know that's where you're calling from, in the Dayton area, and so how is it going with the lockdown as far as the phases of opening things up? Has anything been opened back up yet, or how's that going?
Well, we got our hair salons open. We got our tattoo parlors. The bars are open, some of them. Let's see. We still got like just the norm, you know, like Walmart, the grocery stores and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys are way ahead of us. We're doing it very slowly here in California. We're only on phase 2, and that's where everything's still closed. You know, the gyms, the bars. You can't go in to eat at a restaurant. But they did open up retail stores, but it's only curbside, where you can order something and then come and pick it up, but you can't go into the store. So we really haven't done much to open anything up just yet. But
right.
Yeah. So we're on phase 2. There's supposed to be like phase 2, 4 phases, you know. So we're just on phase 2. It just started on Monday. So they said it'll be another 3 weeks or so before the hair salons open up. And boy, am I waiting for that. You know, I think a lot of people are waiting for those hair salons.
Yeah, my hair, it needs cut. It's halfway down my back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture later.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what?
But yeah, like
that. Go ahead.
Like McDonald's and stuff, you can go McDonald's and stuff. You can go inside and order, you know, but you can't go in and sit down or anything. But you know, oh well, it'll all open up eventually, I guess.
Yeah, it will. Well, you know, that's what I wanted to spend the first half of the show about, was just talking about how everyone was dealing with the coronavirus and how you're surviving. But this segment is actually over because it's almost been 30 minutes. So, but what I wanted to do, and I mentioned it, you probably didn't hear it because you had not called in yet, but I mentioned that I was going to play an audio tape because this is May is the month of Mental Health Awareness Month. So May is an opportunity to raise awareness of psychological health concerns and conditions and promote increased access to care and treatment.
I just told you I was going crazy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you need the medication, right? Well, this is perfect for you. This is perfect for you, then. You know, hang in there until the audio is over with. Let me explain what the audio tape is. It's an interview I did with our mother. By the way, everyone, Kelly is my sister. With our mother.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
I did with my mother in 2004 about when I got sick in 2000 with bipolar disorder. It was my first episode, and it was very severe, and it was scary. And Kelly herself was part of helping me, and we'll talk more about that after the audio. But I have never experienced an episode like that ever again. So my medication is very therapeutic. I'm doing very well. But I wanted to play this audio of my mother. It's 21 minutes long, and afterwards we'll discuss it, and maybe we'll have more callers that might have input too. So Kelly, hold on and listen to the audio, and then I'll get back with you and other callers when it's over. Okay?
Oh my God! I know I'm going to cry. Okay.
All right, here it is.
All right.
All right. So how did you find out about my illness?
Because I had just had surgery, and now they've been talking to you for a couple of weeks, and I kept hearing her on the telephone. And when I asked her what was wrong with you, she said, no, it wasn't that Sam she was talking to. It was somebody else, a guy they know. And I kept on asking, and finally then, after a couple of weeks, then she said it was you and you were sick. And that's when I called you.
So I kept it from you then, didn't I?
Yeah. You said you didn't want me to know, so therefore they didn't tell me. But I kept hearing her on the phone, and I knew it was you, and she said it wasn't you.
So when you first found out that I was sick, then when you first found out about my illness, I mean, what were you thinking? What were your thoughts?
Well, I was wondering what in the world. They didn't say what was wrong. They just said, it was you. So that's when I called you, and I told you I knew something was wrong, and you needed to tell me, and you said that, well, you would start to tell me, but if you couldn't, then you'd have a Dave tell me. But then you started telling me what was wrong with you.
What did I say?
That you wasn't yourself, that, you was hallucinating and seeing all kinds of things, talking to God and all that.
So I did tell you all that?
Yes.
What did you think about all that?
I took your word for it. There was something wrong with you.
So what did you say to me when I was telling you that I was...
Well, I was telling you that I was going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, no, don't come now. And I said, well, why not? It might help, to have family. And you said, you're coming to see your son, and your son's not here anymore. You said there's one that's one way, and there's another one that's another way, and somewhere in the middle was you, but you couldn't get yourself out, is what you told me. And I said, well, I'm going to come anyway. You said, no, I've got things I have to do first and everything before you come,
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't listen. I went ahead and came out.
So did I say, well, can you think of any other things at that time that I was saying? I know about God and about 3%.
Yeah, you was real high, high energy and talking about all kinds of good stuff, which really wasn't good stuff. But within the same time, you say, I have to go get a glass of water or something, and you come back and you couldn't even talk. You were so,
But I become the other personality.
And you're so down you couldn't even talk. So.
Okay. So when I was talking to you about talking to God and all that, did you really believe that that's really what was happening to me?
Yeah, I believe that you believed that's what was happening to you.
Did you believe that I was really talking to God?
Yeah, because you convinced me, yeah.
Right. So, So all that time when Nellie was talking to me, did you ever get a chance to talk to me during those weeks?
No, not until I confronted her that I knew it was you, and I said, I am going to call and see what's wrong with him. I know he's sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, when you talked to me, though, did I sound rational?
No. You were real high. You was up high, you were down low, and it was just, you didn't sound like yourself at all.
So what are your thoughts now about the whole experience that you went through in talking to me?
It was really, it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was knowing, you, how you are, and then how you was,
Okay.
because that wasn't you at all. Like telling me not to come, you had things you had to do, and for me not to come right away, you'd let me know when to come out and see you. You'd never said that to me in your whole life. You would have never said that if you'd have been okay.
So
you'd have been glad I was coming. If I said I'm going to come this tomorrow or next day, you'd have said okay. But you had things to do and all that. So finally, when I convinced you I was coming anyway, I said, well, I'm coming out there to be with you. You said my son wasn't there no more.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that was real high energy. There was another one, and you were in the middle. And you couldn't find yourself to get out. That's what you told me. But I said, well, I'm coming anyway. I said, if that one, I don't care which one's out, you just let them know I'm coming out. I'm going to see my son. I don't care how you're doing. Which one?
So what was it like when you came out to see me? When you first saw me, what did you think?
Well, it wasn't when I first saw you. I knew something really bad was wrong when I got off the plane. There was no one there to get me. And I'd never been there by myself in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
No one. So I didn't know what to do. You wasn't there. So I figured, well, if I get up and go to the shuttle, if I could find my way up to the shuttle place, I could get one of them to come to your house. But then while I was on the phone trying to call your house to see, if anybody was going to come or whatever, I looked way up through there and I seen a deep. Come through the door. So I hollered at him, and he didn't hear me, so I had to run real fast to catch him, and then I hollered at him, and then he explained to me on the way home why you didn't come, and you wanted me to know what was going on.
What was the explanation?
Well, he was just telling me that how you was, that you were sick, and how you was high energy and all that, but that you wouldn't be the same as like if there was nothing wrong with you. So he tried to, then when we was walking from the one place up, he was telling me to your house, and we got up there and you weren't there. Mm-hmm. And then you want me to say what he said? Then he opened the door and we went in, and you weren't home. So there was all this new stuff and everything, and he just sat down on the couch while I sat down, and he put his hands in his head, up to his head, and he said, oh my God, John, what have you done now? And I didn't know what he was talking about, but I see you had all kinds of new furniture where you went and bought and stuff, and then we was there just maybe 5 minutes or so, and then you come in the door. Now, I wouldn't have known you if I'd seen you on the street. Because you lost so much weight, and your hair was solid gray, you had a beard that was gray, you was real skinny, and eyes sunk in. I wouldn't even know you probably, unless you opened your mouth and talked to me.
Yeah. So what was I saying when I first came in?
You just come in, and you was all smiles, had two things of flowers in your arm, 2 bouquets of flowers. And you just come in, and you just said something, Mom, or something. And then I went over and I hugged you, and I said, God, I don't know. I said, you remind me of Tom Hanks when he played that part when he was so sick, That's the only thing come out of my mouth. I don't know why, but it was such a shock. You had changed so much,
Yeah. So what kind of stuff was I doing when you were there?
Well, after you come in, you started right away. Dave asked you about the furniture or something, and you said, well, I didn't pay that much for it and everything. And then we were just talking back and forth, and then you was standing up there at the desk, and you was talking about being in a box. But you got out of the box and said, some people lives in a box all their life, and they never get out. And you looked at me, and you said, Mom, wouldn't you like to get out of the box? And I said, I like my box okay. And you went on about an hour with that. You stood up there, and you was talking to me and Dave about that, about the change, I guess, from being in a box to being out of the box and doing different things. So.
Did you believe what I was saying to be true?
It sounded reasonable, but right at the moment, I didn't think it was probable, or is that the word? I don't know.
Does that seem rational?
I mean, it sounded good. Yeah, you was like you were speaking in a place. You didn't stutter or nothing. I mean, what you were saying was okay, but it, you know.
So what else, when you were here on the trip, what other things was said by me or happened? So anyway, so you said I sounded rational, but then while you were there on the trip with me, what kind of stuff was happening with me, or what?
Well, for one thing, everywhere we went, you had to buy something. You bought a computer. It was a whole lot of money, and you didn't have enough on one credit card. You had to go home and get another credit card and buy that, and you was just buying stuff that you probably really didn't need. You just wanted to change, I guess, like the furniture, you had all that, but some real expensive computer, and you were just buying stuff,
So now also during that time, we went to the Claremont Spa too.
Yeah, we went to the spa.
How was I on that trip? Was I awake, noticeable?
Out of it most of the time. Yes, because when we got up there, everything was set for me to do, my facial and all that. And you only had, I think, like a massage or something. And then we had lunch, but you probably didn't remember the lunch or nothing. And then I went back. I had one more thing to do. And when I come back, you were sleeping on them chairs that was outside, and you couldn't make it back to the thing to change your clothes. So I had to try to get you awake enough, and then I helped you back until you went in. But then I had to wait on you, and you was in there forever. I was getting ready to ask somebody to check on you, and stuff, and then here you come out. But you was in there about an hour, just change out of your swimming trunks into your clothes and stuff. So you didn't enjoy, you didn't, know too much about what was going on.
Do you remember those apples that we got when we came out? There were some apples.
Yeah.
And I tasted the apple, and I said that they were the best tasting apples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a heightened sense of taste during that time. My taste buds were really, really strong.
Yeah, but that time then, we were sitting in the sun, you lay there and slept then for a long time. Then when it come time, I said, well, we better get ready, to go and stuff. And you couldn't get up off of there. You were so tired. Mm-hmm. So I had to help you up and help you through the building and into where the locker room was. And I went in, I come right back out. I just, I got my stuff on, and then I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And then you came out. You finally did get dressed. You probably took a nap while you was in there.
Who knows what happened to me?
Huh?
I said, who knows what happened to me? So now, so that was that trip, and I know we've talked about it many times, about the other trip to Reno. But I know that on the bus, I was asleep most of the time.
You slept with your head on my shoulder, and then when we got up there were times that you was like, it seemed like you was aware of what was going on. And then at other times, you didn't. And you didn't remember the room we had. You sat up and tried to teach me how to play cards for a little while. And then you went to sleep early. And then the next morning you was just drugged down, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. But you played the Wheel of Fortune and won $147. And stuff, and I sat and played machines, and then we went to get something to eat, and I think you were like 2 hours in there eating before you could get anything, to eat. Mm-hmm. And you said you didn't remember nothing, But now when we got off the bus in the wrong place, and all them people's out, you were together enough that you was
that woke me up.
That you was hurrying me up the street, And
how did we get home, though? Once we
walked all the way up to that
cable car.
Yeah, and we had to get on it because I was worried. I didn't know where we were, and you said I know. You called me a worrywart the whole trip because I was worried about you. Everything went on. Yeah, I was worried. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry. You're just a little worrywart. That's what you said.
Did I have any other? Did I mention anything else about any new talking to God or
Not on the
or
trip.
hallucinations?
Not,
or,
not on the trip.
Not when you were there.
No. Not on the trip you didn't,
Okay. And you went with the doctor with me, too.
Yeah, we went, okay.
Do you remember anything about the doctor, the first doctor, the Asian doctor?
He said it was your medicine that they had to change.
That was causing it.
Yeah, that it takes a while to get the right combination and everything, you know. So.
Right. So, yeah, and then now when we went to that other therapist, the lady therapist, do you remember anything about that one? The one where we saw, Don Johnson right afterwards. Remember we went to the...
Yeah, we went to her. But
and then after that we went to the restaurant, and that's when we saw Don Johnson.
No, you talked to her normal like, stuff. You wasn't talking nothing that wasn't, or you wasn't...
So I was okay by the time we went to that visit.
Yeah, you wasn't racing, or, like your thoughts wasn't racing. You wasn't, down in the dumps, or nothing. You were more yourself.
Was there anything?
When I left, you were more yourself than you had been.
So I was getting better.
Yeah, because you looked in the mirror when we were on the trip, and you said, "Look at me," and I said, "Yeah." I said, "You ain't dyed your hair or nothing in that beard," and you said, "Well, when we get back, said, you're just gonna dye your hair," and I said, "Well, yeah, that'd be nice." So you did that, and then you said, "Well, I'm gonna shave this beard off," and you shaved your beard off, and then you looked like yourself again. But before you didn't look nothing like you.
So by the time you left, you felt good about leaving?
Yeah, because seemed like you was you and Akeem left the evening after I got there, the day I got there. You and him went to the store, and I called Frank, and I told him, I said, "Frank, I'm really worried about Sam." I said, "You would not recognize him. If you met him on the street, you would not know he was your son." And he said, "Why?" I said, "He's lost a lot of weight." I said, "He's got gray hair, gray beard. His eyes are sunk in." I said, "He looks awful," and I started crying. He said, "Don't let him see you crying. You can't do that and let him know, how you feel about it." I said, "Well, he's not here. I said, "Him and Dave went to the store." And I said, "He's not here." And I said, "Of course not. I'm not going to cry in front of him, or anything, just, But, yeah, I was really worried because I called him when you guys left. And I told him, I said, "You would not believe." He knew you were sick, though. That's why he gave me the money and told me he couldn't go,
Well, so you were upset, of course, that I was sick and everything. But how else did all of that, or how else has it affected you?
Have you been that sick? It was bad. It was bad. I mean, to see someone you love, your own flesh and blood, and you wasn't not a 1% of the person that you seen the last time you seen him.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something horrible happening in life to cause that. And it hurt me. But then after I was with you and we started doing things and you started getting better, of course I felt better about it, But of course it worried me,
mm-hmm. So how do I seem now?
Normal.
Okay. And
you have on the phone when I've talked to you, for quite a while.
But any concerns that you have now about me?
No, the only concern I had was back when you was working the last job. You were on your lunch break. You were high speed. You was trying to get me a phone. You was trying to do 2 or 3 things in a little bit of time. And I told you then, I said, "John, don't rush around and make yourself sick." I felt something was wrong. I felt it because you just had too many things trying to get done. And that's not good for, when you got bipolar, I would imagine.
And it turned out I was sick.
Yeah. But I could tell, and I told Renee, you can ask him before that, and when I talked to you, and I said, I think Sam's, getting sick again, or at least it's bothering him. I said, because he is so, but I didn't tell you. I should have told you. Maybe that would have jarred you.
In the future, we're going to do that.
I will.
So, any final thoughts? Any final thoughts you want to say about anything maybe that happened that you've missed to tell me? Or?
Well, the only thing that I can say, and I've told you, what you talked about when you were having one of those was absolutely believable, and everything. I mean, about God. And I could see if I really thought I talked to God and I found out I didn't, that somebody told me, no, you were sick and you didn't, it would be the hardest thing in the world to believe that you didn't, because you really believe that. You really do believe it and stuff. And that part of it I don't think's bad. But the spending and, you know, the wanting to buy everything, all that's bad. You know, and then of course the depression, when you get into that, that's not only you know, bad, it's dangerous to a lot of people, you know, and stuff. So, but y'all, to me now, you seem normal as can be. I mean, you know.
At least for the moment.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
But then if everybody will tell you, if you start to have an episode, that you can go to a doctor or something, probably your medicine, you know, you need to kind of change or something.
No, that's true. All right. Well, any concerns you still have?
No. Right now, I don't have any, you know, about you, because you're all right. And the one thing you got to realize, you'll have that all your life, so you'll have to stay on your medicine. Don't go off of it for no stupid reason. And if just because you're feeling really good, don't say, well, maybe I don't need it and I won't take it, because that's why you feel good, because you take it, so you always take it.
Yeah.
And then it'll keep you leveled out and keep you yourself.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and we are back. Thanks for listening to this interview. I thought it important to share it because it is an example of what one may go through if not diagnosed or not taking medications and not getting other treatments while suffering with a mental health issue. Again, I'm grateful I have been doing well for an exceptionally long time. You know, the thing about this illness or other mental health issues is that there's a lot of stigma by it. When you tell someone you have bipolar disorder, they're like, oh, dear, you know, they think that you're crazy or you're going to do something outrageous. But the thing is that it's not true. You know, medication helps a lot. And I see that Kelly's still on the line, and she went through this with me. Kelly, tell us about your experience with me when when you would talk to me on the phone.
Well, like Mom said, you would like flip-flop. You would be like, you know, happy and everything 1 minute, and then you would tell me to hold on. You know, you'd say, well, hold on, I'll be right back. I got to get a glass of water. Okay. Well, a couple minutes later, you'd come back, and you'd be a whole new, different person. It was weird. I don't know. It was just crazy. And then that one time, you had called, and you were screaming and crying. And I said, what's wrong? And I couldn't even make out what you were saying. And you put a Deeb on the phone. And that poor guy, I remember yelling at him, what the hell is wrong with my brother? I knew. Oh, my God. He said, I'm not sure, or something like that, and he was taking you to the hospital. And then I remember a couple days after that, you said that when you got over there, you thought you were God. You were wearing like a robe and everything like that, and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, it's true. I went from first thinking that I was talking to God, then I thought I was the second coming of Christ, but my name was Sam, not Jesus. And then when I got to the point where I thought I was God himself, that's when, I was always aware that maybe something wasn't right. And when I got to the point where I thought I was God himself, I told my friend, Hakeem, I said, I think I need to go to the emergency room. And then we get to the emergency room, and they're like, we can't do anything for you. You need to see your doctor and get a referral to a psychiatrist,
Right.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
Remember that about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I called you. And I told you, the little things I'm having to go on right now. Well,
right.
Remember that?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got an appointment with my doctor the 26th, next Tuesday, I think. So we're gonna figure it out.
Tuesday. Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, I mean, you got to do that, and what's really sad? No, go ahead.
You better not have gave me that stuff. I'm telling you, you better not have.
Hey, that's hereditary, it's actually hereditary. So I didn't give it to you, but someone else might have. I think our
Mom
uncle
and Dad,
had that.
Right, Mom and Dad shared their high blood pressure, cholesterol, and all that crap with me. So I don't need it. I don't want that now.
Well, I did want to go back about the mental health issue thing. Is that there's a lot of insurances that really don't cover it that well, and the thing about it is that if you do get medication, the actual pills itself can be $2,000 a month, and your copayment can be like $300 a month. If they don't have a generic version. But then if they get a generic version, which is one of the medications I take, it's $1,000 naturally, the amount, and it's $100 a month copay. I'm lucky because I have a second insurance that pays my copays, but if I didn't, I'd have to pay $100 a month for one pill. Isn't that crazy?
Well, no, that's horse shit. I mean, nobody should have to pay that for medication.
I know. It's crazy. And you know what else? A lot of times with mental health issues, and it's more times than not, people who suffer with mental illness also have a dual diagnosis, which is like an addiction. Usually it's alcohol addiction. So you're really dealing with two issues at the same time. And again, a lot of health insurance companies do not cover addiction treatment either. So you're suffering with two things, and you're not getting the help you need. So there needs to be a lot of advocacy or something where people are trying to get insurance companies, or they need to pass something that makes it mandatory that they give you the treatment for mental illness, mental health issues, and also addiction. That's what I think.
Well, with alcoholism, you don't really need a medication for that. It's all you just got to find it into yourself, that you want to beat that, and that you're stronger than your addiction. Because I quit drinking. And it was hell. At certain points I was wishing to God I was dead, because it was rough. It was bad. But I did it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
but
that's wonderful. Well, the thing is though, when I say treatment, I mean there are if you have insurance, you can go to not a 12. It can be a 12-step. If you go, AA is free, but I mean they have also places you can go and stay like 30 days or 90 days or 60 days, and they will help you with staying sober. So, but those cost money, and a lot of people can't afford that,
Can I say something? There ain't nothing nobody can do. There ain't nothing nobody can do. You got to have it into yourself. You got to do it. You got to do, you're the one that has to do it. Okay. No, I'm serious. You're the one who has to do it.
No,
people can tell you. People can tell you, well, you need to quit drinking. Okay, I do, but I'm not. Not because you want me to.
Right.
But
well, I just want to tell you really quickly. We only have a minute and a half left, so we should continue this conversation on the next show because I think there's a lot we can talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just
else
want to
on
tell
here?
everybody to. Yeah, we only have 90 seconds left. So what I wanted to say is please join us next Wednesday, everybody, May 27th, at our new time, which is going to be 6 p.m. West Coast time and 9 p.m. East Coast time for our next episode. And I do wish all of you a great night. And thank you, Kelly, and also to Shavesh for calling in. And this is John signing off. And goodbye for now, friends. And Kelly, I'll call you in just a minute. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.